Welcome to NewsOK.com. I am Jacob Unruh here for an Oklahoma City Dodgers update, joined by the voice of the Dodgers, Alex Freedman. Alex, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks as always. Great being here.
Well, I guess the place to start is actually the team's on a hot streak right now. 6 in a row, 55 runs in those 6 games. It's pretty incredible to watch right now, isn't it?
It is, and the two things that had kind of kept this team from getting on a roll this year was consistent hitting and playing well at home. Well, they've done both of that right now, as 5 of the 6 wins have been here in Oklahoma City. And like you mentioned, the offense batting well over 300, batting over 400 with runners in scoring position. It's 12 homers during the 6 games, averaging about 6-7 extra base hits per game. And again, we've seen that, a 10-run game, maybe 8 runs here or there, but it'd be back to 1 or 2 the next day. And now it's of course now being more consistent. Now, having 4 10-run games in a 5-game stretch is not something you're going to sustain for the rest of the season, but it is nice to have a stretch like this really for the first time all year.
Is it? I asked Bill Hassman the other day, I said, is it the warmer weather? And he kind of hinted at that it could be. Do you think that's temperatures have risen, that maybe the bats are coming alive with it?
I think that's part of it, and I think just in our ballpark, with the bigger gaps, it can be more conducive to that. We've seen more home runs really throughout the year. I feel like the wind has kind of blown out almost every single game, especially that game last Sunday against Round Rock. I mean, we had 4 total home runs, and I don't think any of them get out without the wind.
No.
So that's part of it, but I think other part of it is now you've got Willie Calhoun and Alex Verdugo, 2 young guys, 2 months in. Other guys, some more lineup consistency we've had. There hasn't been as much roster turnover of late. Really, it's been a lot of when Alex Verdugo went to the leadoff spot and Willie Calhoun was put in the cleanup spot. A lot of this year had been Calhoun either 1 or 2 or Verdugo 4 or 5, and now they've kind of flipped, and I think that has a lot to do with it because Verdugo's a great on-base guy, and Calhoun's biggest strength is driving guys in, so it's worked out extremely well.
When I wrote about Scott Van Slyke the other day, not Andy, that's his dad. When I wrote about Scott the other day, he said that he's always surprised that this team can lose a game. He never thinks this team should be able to lose a game. And talent-wise, you would kind of look on paper and think that maybe are they finally starting to reach their potential a little bit?
I think there's part of it, especially because I remember last week when we were in Iowa and they got swept in a doubleheader and really just weren't competitive against a team with inferior talent, quite frequently, and it was a real head-scratcher. But the thing is, that 6-game win streak started the next day. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's right. I mean, there are times where I don't necessarily expect to win every single game, maybe a little bit more realistic about it, but there's no hole in the starting rotation. Every one of the bullpen has been solid this year. The lineup has been great. It's got a great young nucleus. And I wouldn't 100% agree with that statement, but I think I can understand where he's coming from.
You mentioned the rotation. Julio Urias goes on the disabled list. They had the MRI today, shoulders, no structural damage. But really the rotation's still pretty solid without him, particularly Wilmer Font. And he pitched yesterday, and he's been striking out people at a career pace. How impressed are you with him?
Maybe the surprise of the year in the PCL. I mean, I'd be hard-pressed to find someone else in this league and maybe within minor league baseball to kind of be the surprise season that he has had. A guy who came up in the Rangers system as a hard-throwing reliever, got to the big leagues, but then had some arm troubles. Kind of reinvented himself as a starter, played some independent ball. Last year signed with the Blue Jays and now this year with the Dodgers, and he's just been unbelievable. I mean, leading the minor leagues in strikeouts, over 13 strikeouts per 9 innings on average. And not only that, but barely any walks. He's got about a 7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, which is just simply incredible. And you don't see a whole lot of guys square him up a whole lot. I think yesterday was maybe arguably his best game because he was getting it done not necessarily with the strikeouts, which is kind of what he's been dependent on early. It was just a lot of soft routine contact, especially in the middle innings. I don't want to say you expect it to, maybe he's going to regress towards his career numbers, but he hasn't so far. And now he's made 13 starts on the season, and that's one guy I'm really rooting for to get to the AAA All-Star game this year, which is in a few weeks.
The voting's open for that too. We probably need to talk about that. I think I saw earlier that Willie Calhoun's second in the voting, and I haven't checked the other results, but people need to go out and vote, right?
Yeah, it's not necessarily going to be the only thing that determines who goes to the game. But you can go online, MILB.com, or go through our website, OKCDodgers.com. That is certainly an element of who gets to go, is the fan voting part of it. Like you mentioned, Willie Calhoun is a second among second basemen right now. And I don't necessarily want to count Cody Bellinger, even though he is third among first basemen. Obviously, he's not going to be there.
No, he's not.
But that's it in terms of the top five at all the different positions for the Dodgers players. So, yeah, anything the fans can do to help get some of those guys to the All-Star game would be great. Of course, there's like it is in the major leagues, there's voting also by media as well as coaching staffs that'll help determine who gets sent. But, I'm thinking there's probably a decent chance, at least 2-3 guys are able to go to that game.
Last year they had Rob Saget in there, so pretty cool event. I remember him talking about that. But speaking of the fans, you got a lot of stuff in the next week and a half or so for the fans, actually through the end of the month, I guess. Tonight's Thirsty Thursday, $2 Thursday, I guess is the official name. I still call it Thirsty Thursday, for all the $2 soda, water, and beer. But tomorrow night's a special night with a commemorative jersey. You guys are getting on that commemorative jersey train that some teams like to do across minor league baseball. Tell us about that.
We usually do once or twice a year. We're not too extravagant like some teams, but tomorrow night will kind of help celebrate our 20th season Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark, and I have the jersey right here. So this is what the front of it looks like, but the special stuff is really on the back. The Oklahoma City skyline in Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark, signaling the 20th season. So those will be available for auction during the game. They will be game-worn jerseys, and all the proceeds will benefit our Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation. And in addition, it is a Fireworks Friday night.
It's a big night for you guys.
Yeah,
and then,
absolutely.
You go on the road then, but you come back next week for Nashville, and that's another loaded series. Promotions even got a half game possibly going on there. You got the resume of a suspended game.
Yeah,
Thursday.
Very unique circumstances next Thursday. We're going to have to resume a suspended game that happened in late April due to a power outage. So we'll pick up play. It's a week from today, next Thursday. That'll start at 5:35. It's a 1-1 game in the 8th inning, and you'll finish it out just like any other regular game. Gates open at 5 o'clock that day. So it is a bit of some bonus $2 Thursday time next Thursday as well. So we'll have that, and then the regularly scheduled game will be about 20-30 minutes after we complete that first game. And then Friday night, it's another Fireworks Friday, but maybe the most excited giveaway I've ever been a part of since I've been with the team now in 6th season. That is our socks coming up next Friday, and I think these turned out really well, and this will be available to the first 2,000 fans through the gates on next Friday night. So they did a really good job with them, think really kind of styled with the times, and they look really neat.
Are you going to be wearing a pair that night? Because I know
of
you like
course,
socks.
100%.
All right,
Yeah.
I will see a social media post from you, I'm sure, that night with those socks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's one more event at the end of the month, right? Dodgeball.
Yeah,
you guys like the 5Ds.
Team will be on the road. Team will be on the road, but it'll be the third time we host a dodgeball tournament at our ballpark, and registration is open right now. It's been a very successful event for us the past couple times. So it's $25 per person. The prize at stake is a chance for 20 people, a 20-person suite night at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. So registration is open right now. We'll have food trucks there. We'll have all sorts of beverages as well. And we're hoping to get a great turnout for that. We've had the first couple of times, and like I said, you can register right now at OKCDodgers.com.
And we've got to circle back to the ballpark a little bit. The all-ballpark team that you've been voting on, that's open and continuing, but where are we at in that?
Yeah, so essentially all the position players plus a DH, have been voted on and have been revealed the winners. So starting pitchers is actually going to be a 2-week process just because there's so many of them, hard to narrow down to just one. So that's going on these next 2 weeks, and then after that is a relief pitcher, and then we're done. It's hard to believe it's kind of flown by this fast here throughout the season.
Wow.
All the position players have been decided. Most recently was a DH, Jason Botts.
Okay,
And if you go to our website, OKCDodgers.com, or our Facebook page, Facebook.com/OKC Dodgers, have all the winners. And like I said, starting pitchers right now being voted on, and we're going to take the top 2 winners, and boy, it's loaded. I mean, it's got R.A. Dickey, who owns the career records for just about everything, and of course, eventually won a Cy Young, another eventual Cy Young Award winner in Dallas Keuchel. Michael Kirkman, who's the only player to win PCL Pitcher of the Year since the team joined the league in 1998. Jose De Leon, who had an electric year last year, and I'm forgetting a few right now off the top of my head, but it's really going to be a pretty tight competition, I would assume, even though we've got 2 spots for it.
All right. Well, lots going on at the ballpark. The team's playing really well. A lot of exciting stuff. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And stick with newsok.com where you get the best Dodgers coverage in the state.